and then just make sure that you follow through and you whip it. Just like that. That was easily 80 meters. No problem whatsoever. Come this way with me, cameraman, so I don't hit the tree again. Hi, I'm the Moorlander, and this is Moorlander EDC. Today, I'm going to make a jack arrow. Now, if you've got kids, the summer is coming. We're in spring. Summer will be here soon. Getting your kids out of the house, having something that will compete against Xbox or whatever the kids want to do inside the house for Fortnite or whatever it's called. The pain, the struggle is real. I'm a parent and I know that from my kids. These are something that I used to make when I was young. I've taught my kids how to make these. They're older now. They don't want to make these, but these are so good. One, because it's a bit of fun to make, and two, if you've got kids and you want them out of your house this summer, jack arrows are awesome. Now, a jack arrow itself is it's such a simple rudimentary arrow. Originally, jack arrows were used for hunting. Now, just to give you a little bit of history around them, they would have been used for hunting. You have your jack, you have this string. You may know these by another name, so if you call this something different, I'd certainly like to hear down in the comments. I googled some other names for these. Here in the Kingdom of Moorlands, we call it a jack arrow because you use this jack. This is the thong that you use to help to throw it further. You actually hold it here when you throw it. So it's a jack arrow. But I know in the north of England they refer to this as a York arrow. Over on the European continent, these are often referred to as Dutch arrows, sometimes called Swiss arrows. You'll find that they're a little bit longer, so it's more like a shorter spear, but they still have the fletchings at the top. Sometimes they'll be a little bit shorter. There are different ways in which you can throw them. I forget what it's called, where you have like a wooden stick that you hit in the top. It's different to that. You use this little thong to be able to throw it. But making these couldn't be any more simple, and they're super cheap to make as well. So let's turn the camera around. This is one that I've already made, but we'll go through this now. Let's turn the camera around and show you how you put this together. Now, making these is ridiculously simple. You only need 3 ingredients and potentially 1 tool. Now, first of all, you need something that you can make the actual arrow from. This is a piece of 14mm doweling that I picked up from B&Q. I think it was like £4, not much at all. How we used to make ours when I was young, we'd make them with bamboo canes. Whilst I was at B&Q, I picked some of these up. They were, I think you get a pack of 15 for £4, I think it was. Ridiculously cheap. You then need to be able to make your fletchings on the end. So I've just used a piece of cardboard from an old cereal box. Now, this is where you can have some fun with your kids. These fletchings are whatever shape they are. I don't really know too much about fletchings. These are more of like a shield shape. You can have fun with them because you can make some competition on which fletchings are actually the best. Now, as far as putting them on a stick like this, I don't think there's anyone, I'm sure, well actually Randy, I think you'll find that if you do a fletching like this, it'll be far superior. We're talking about something that we're just going to be throwing in a field. There's very little difference between them. However, to your kids, it'll make a massive difference. So yeah, these are good fun, but literally it's just cardboard from a Kellogg's cereal box. You might find if you've got some like plastic laminate maybe that's rigid, you could cut them out of those so you could have different coloured ones. It's completely up to you. And then the other thing is just some tape. So I've got some electrical tape because I got some spare. If you use brightly coloured electrical tape, it just means if you're, I mean, I'm not going to throw it in the woods, we're going to go to a field and we're going to throw this around afterwards. But sometimes it just makes them a little bit easier to find, especially if they end up lying flat on the floor, if the grass is reasonably long. But that's it, that's all you need. Oh, sorry, I suppose there is a fourth, and that's your thong, that's your jack. This is a piece of 550 paracord. It's actually a little bit bigger than that. What's the one after 550? Is it 780 paracord? Anyway, whatever it is, it's 550 paracord. You can use string, you can use rope. You just want it to be a little bit thin and a little bit floppy. If you've got like a static rope or something like that, then it's probably not going to work as well. And with this is probably about a meter's worth. Really, you just need to make sure that however long your arrow is, that you've got maybe another foot past that. Now making it, the tool in which you need is just a knife. It's a great opportunity to get your kids to understand knife safety. And with the bamboo, these are the easiest ones to make. Now this originally was 90mm. 90mm? 900mm. God, why am I struggling? But I messed it up because my saw went in at the wrong angle, so I had to take off 10 centimeters off the end. So you really do need a saw to be able to do this. Whereas if you're using bamboo cane, all you have to do is put your knife on the top, give it a tap, and it will split. And then if you push your knife into that, then you can just get it to split further down. Again, it's a great opportunity to teach kids knife safety. But what you need to be able to do is, and I have already done this, is you're going to split it down one way and then you're going to split it down the other way so that you've got full parts that can open out. This is probably, you might be looking at this going, Rand, this is so obvious, you don't even need to show us this bit, but you know, I'm going to show you anyway. So then you take your fletchings, you put them down so that they go into here, like so, and then you're going to need your tape. So when you've got them in here, take your tape at the top. That's what teeth were designed for. Put your tape on the top. So when you're throwing these around, or your kids are throwing these around, they will find that, you know, the fletchings, it's just made from cardboard at the end of the day, so they're not particularly strong. But as I say, this is where you can bring in a little bit of competition. If you've got 2 or 3 kids, or they've got a group of friends and they're all going to do it between each other, because yeah, they're just simple cardboard fletchings. And they'll fall out and they'll break. So what you want to do is just give them plenty of cardboard. I think when we were making these when we were young, me and my brother probably consumed more Kellogg's Frosties in one summer than we ever had, because we were just trying to get more and more cardboard. Okay, so super simple while I was doing that. So there's some on the top here to stop them from coming out, and there's some at the bottom here, and that will stop your wood from splitting as it goes down. Now, whether it's a Dutch arrow or a Swiss arrow or a York arrow or a Jack arrow, what happens with this jack is you tie a knot in one end, and then here, so if I put this over that, bring it round and then tuck it over the knot, it will grip onto that. But what you want to do is, sometimes you might find, especially with these canes, they're a little bit kind of, a bit slippy. So if you've got, and I don't know what this is called on a cane, I'm going to call it a knuckle now, but it's that bit where it just gets a little bit wider. If you put your jack just at the top of that, it will give it some friction and that will stop it from coming down. So that's why canes are really useful. If it is that you're using a piece of doweling, all I've done with this is, maybe an inch from where this one is, I've just put on an extra little bit of tape. So if I do it with this one, what all you're trying to do is you're trying to make just a little bit of a ridge so that your jack and the knot won't slide down the shaft. So now this piece of tape here will work in a similar way to this little knuckle bit here. So if I put again that over there, and all that this does is, if I do it like this, so this goes round the back, across the front, and then your rope goes over the knot, and then you pull it down like this, and that's how you hold it. You hold it here at the bottom, wrap this around your hand a few times so that you've got it there, and then you throw it and launch it. So that's making it with a bamboo cane. Super simple. As I've mentioned, I made one here. This is with just a piece of doweling that I bought from a hardware store. Works exactly the same. You can sharpen the end. You're going to throw this probably in a field. People will have used them historically to hunt with. They'll have used them for lots of different things. They might have been used during wars. I'm not even sure if they have been. But if you don't want to take too much off, and again, just a little bit of advice with this, is just take a little bit off so that you've got a little bit of a point. And that's all you need, because you're just going to be throwing it into the ground. And yeah, and then you go out and you throw it. And that's the best thing for the kids. If you're enjoying the content today and you'd like to support my channel, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button below. If you do choose to do that, I'd like to say a huge thank you and welcome on board into the Moorlander community. Now back to today's content. Right, so here we have them. Now I'm in the field right behind my mum and dad's house. This is where me and my brother and my two friends, we used to come every summer, and we do these. Now, as I mentioned, so when you do this, you put it over there, and then you just put the loose end over that knot. You're not actually tying a knot or anything like that. So you put that over there, you take the jack, wrap it around your hand a couple of times, just mainly to make sure that you don't let go, and then you hold it at the end. And then when you hold it at the end, as I'm sure you probably guessed, you throw it, and then just make sure that you follow through and you whip it, just like that. That was easily 80 meters, no problem whatsoever. Come this way with me, cameraman, so I don't hit the tree again. So here's my little bamboo one. Again, it just goes over it like that. You pull it tight, hold it at the end. Now with this one, because it's a little bit longer, I'm gonna have to adjust my grip a little bit more. But again, hold it at the end, throw it. And there you go, easily. That was like 600 meters throw. In fact, come on, follow me. Now here's the first one, and we did hit the tree, which is unfortunate. It didn't go half as far, but I always found the doweling ones never went as far. They're just a bit heavier and a bit naff. Whereas the bamboo ones, they definitely go a lot further. They throw a lot better, and plus with these, they're a lot cheaper to make as well. Let's throw it back. Yeah, let's throw it back. So again, slip it over the top of the knot, wrap it around your hand, same with this one. This one might not fly as far because I've knackered the fletchings on it, but give it a try. Went just as far. Now some of the things that you can do, walk with me cameraman, some of the things that you can do is, this is where the competition starts with your kids. Is it better to have a longer shaft? Is it better to have a shorter shaft, a thicker shaft? Have a play around with the fletchings, have a play around with your rope. It's just more fun to make it kind of more of a competition between your kids or whatever it is. Even if it's not for your kids, you might be out just doing it yourself and just having a laugh. But I guarantee, if you want to get your kids out this summer, these are such good fun, and they really are just a good laugh. Now, what I'd want is, if you guys are up for this, if you do make one of these and you put something on social media, tag me in on Instagram. I'm Moorlander underscore EDC, because I'd love to see your version of a jack arrow, or a Swiss arrow, or a Dutch arrow, or a York arrow, whatever it is that you prefer to call it. Also, let's hear in the bottom what you call it, what area of the world you're in, and what you call one of these, and the thong that you throw it with. So yeah, so there you go. I hope that's a little bit of fun. This is something, as I mentioned several times, something me and my brother, my two friends, in fact, shout out to my brother, shout out to Wayne and Darren. We used to play out in these fields all the time when we were young, so they're probably not watching this, but a good shout out, they're good mates. So yeah, so I'll leave, well, I'd usually say I'll leave some links, but there's not really any links because it's this. Anyway, I'll leave some of my social media links below so that you can see more from me on Moorlander EDC and my sister channel, Moorlander Tactical. And whether you're watching this on YouTube or Rumble, as always, stay safe, stay Moorlander, and stay EDC. Hi, I'm the Moorlander, and this is Moorlander EDC. Today we're going to do something that's a little bit different. No. And there I am, talking to myself for 30 seconds, and after 30 seconds the camera turns off because I didn't hit record. I hit the tree the first time. That's what happens when you hit the tree. It's the beauty of these though, because they just wreck them, but you just get some more cardboard and you make some more. It's not difficult. Anyway, I hope you're good. I hope you're all having a good time. The summer's nearly here. Yeah, see you soon. Love you lots.